Hello, I'm Matt from House.com, and these are my top 3 Salomon big guy boards of the 2020 season. Big guy boards, what does it mean to be a big guy? Well, you're probably over 200 pounds, you probably have size 12 feet and larger, and these are the boards that are going to be best for you from the Salomon lineup because they're stable, and of course they're going to be quite a bit wider than what you find in the average style board. The 3 decks that I've selected are this one. We have the Assassin Pro, the Huck Knife Pro Wide. These are all the wide versions. Huck Knife Pro Wide. And then, of course, the Villain Wide. They all feature centered style bases and some kind of edge bevel that make them just a little less catchy. Starting out with the Villain, it has the widest waist width of 26.2 centimeters. It's a true twin style board with a centered stance. You can ride it this way or this way. It's going to feel the exact same. The Feel and Flex is 5, which is the softest out of the 3 boards that are featured, but it features a triax style glass and additional carbon on the nose and the tail called Booster. There's 4 different strips in 3 different sections on the nose and the tail that start and radiate out from the lateral side of the insert pack. One section is right down the center of the board, and the other 2 go to each contact point shoulder for a little bit more stability. And the board also features carbon in the sidewalls. It's called Slingshot, and it's only located basically where your bindings rest for extra durability and strength. A great thing about the Villain Wide is that it has a wonderful profile shape called Rock Out Camber that has a fairly camber dominant style shape. It's basically a raised flat section that's stable, but it still has a little bit of rocker on that nose and the tail, lifting up those contact points. The cool part about this profile shape is that that rocker nose and tail isn't as soft as you might think it would be or feel because of that additional booster kind of carbon on the nose and the tail, which is great. Next up is the Huck Knife. The Huck Knife is a really great deck. The widest board that the Huck Knife Pro Wide has is 26.3 in the waist width. And it's a true twin board, centered stance, just like the Villain, except for it has a little bit upgraded of a Feel and Flex of a 6 with a triax style fiberglass and basically a full sidewall of gunslinger carbon with rubber that helps to dampen the ride out, but also give a little extra energy. And then with that is a booster. You can actually see the booster, the same thing that's in the Villain, in the nose and the tail here, and well, at least in the tail here. There's those 4 different strands of carbon that you see that radiate towards the contact points and then right down the center. The biggest difference between the Huck Knife Pro Wide and the Villain Wide is actually the profile shape. The profile shape of the Huck Knife Pro Wide is a very dominant camber. There's no rocker really to it. There's 2 different sections of the camber though, which is kind of unique, that kind of rest on one radius. Follow me here. The center of the board's camber has a larger radius, and the camber section on the nose and the tail is a tighter radius. And the idea behind that is to have a very smooth and stable ride between the feet, but with a little bit more of an aggressive style feel, tight arcing camber within the nose and the tail locations, which is actually something I really enjoy. So you can really bounce back edge to edge and have really quick ollie pop with the Huck Knife Pro Wide. Now both of these boards are a little bit more kind of like park oriented or all mountain freestyle oriented, and this one, the next one, is going to be the Assassin Pro. And the Assassin Pro Wide is a little bit more for almost freestyle and kind of free riding because of the directional twin style shape. Now it's kind of unique because the Assassin Pro Wide has the widest waist width of 26.6 centimeters, the widest out of the 3 boards here. But it's going to feel like a twin style board on firm snow and in hard pack because inside the contact points, the board is twin with a centered style stance. The only thing that really makes this board directional is that outside of the nose's upsweep, the nose is just a little bit longer, a little bit taller than what you find in the tail. So when you get into some deeper snow, this one's going to float better. It has a Feel and Flex rating of 7, even though it has a biax style fiberglass, which is a little bit more torsionally pliable. But then again, you add in those the gunslinger style full carbon sidewall. It's going to be just more rigid. But I'm kind of surprised that Salomon didn't put triax fiberglass in this thing, but I'm not surprised at the same time because I think if they added the triax fiberglass into this board, it'd be like just not manageable for the average style rider. The nose and the tail don't feature booster, but they do feature additional wide strips of carbon called ghost carbon beams. Beams that run parallel to the edge and have a gradual J shape to those contact points. It's going to be more torsionally rigid in the nose and the tail area than what you find in the Huck Knife Pro Wide in the Villain Wide. And then it has a little bit looser of a profile shape, even though it has a lot of technology add-ons and upgrades. The profile shape of the Assassin Pro is called Rockout Camber. And Rockout Camber is basically a lifted section, flat with a little bit of rocker on the nose and tail, but the rocker on the nose and tail is going to be fairly firm. It has a loose shape, but it's not going to wash out, which is pretty cool. And that's going to be a little better, I think, for, you know, like big mountain and POW style riding. Again, these are my top 3 Salomon big guy boards for 2020. This is the Assassin Pro Wide, the Huck Knife Pro Wide, and the Villain Wide. All very stable style boards with wide platforms for big riders who are over 200 pounds with size 12 boots and larger. Make sure to check all these things out at thehouse.com, and hopefully I'll see you guys on snow. Peace.